Welcome back to episode 9 of the Rocket Coach's Corner. I'm Hayden Swope, and I'm here with track coach Brandon Barger. How are you doing today, Coach?
Great, thank you.
So last Monday we had our first meet. Can you give us an overview of how it went?
Well, with a meet like that, it's always kind of good to see because it's a meet where we can get all the kids in there. So we have events that we can fill up and see what these kids can do. And it's also a good chance to see what our experienced kids can do from last season. So we pretty much, and I'm not going to lie, we dominated that meet. It was a good feeling to see that, and it was a lot of good things to see, especially with the young kids. So we did a really good job to start off with.
From the people returning, who are some contenders to place at state?
Well, funny that you asked that, because today we just figure out where our regionals are going to be, and it looks very favorable. So one of our biggest contenders in terms of team is Andale. I mean, Andale is a team they just reload every year. They're very good in what they do. And so we just learned that we're not going to be in a regional with them this year, so like we were last year. So that changes a lot of aspects at a regional meet. I mean, a lot of the guys, especially like with Carter Wagner, and he's signing today with Emporia State. A lot of the junior boys, Tegan, Cobb and Luke McLaughlin and Ben Peck, and Cornelius Anderson, a senior. So a lot of those older boys that really did well last year at state, coming back again with much more experience, a lot more, I think, dedication to getting better. On the girls' side, Kate Dare, I mean, we just had a little episode with her too. She's kind of banged up right now, and we're trying to get her on the mend, and hopefully she'll be ready by that time. Our distance girls, I mean, that's just a carryover from last fall, since I'm the cross-country coach too, so it's nice to see that carryover. So our distance girls are going to be pretty solid. Our throws, especially for our girls, are going to be better than they were last year. Okay, so that's always helps, because that's kind of been our Achilles heel a little bit. Our tendon a little bit is just the throws area, so they're going to get better too. So I mean, there's a lot of aspects. I can't really just put it on a few of them. So I mean, because there could be surprises too we don't know about. So
What are the more competitive meets that we are going to participate in this season?
this week, pre-state, it's held at WSU. It is a Thursday night and an all-day Friday. So we've got some kids lined up in there. We've got Alexa Marshall, fellow sophomore, that's going to be running her first steeplechase. That's something I ran, so I kind of hold that important to me a little bit. So she's going to run that for the very first time, jumping over some water, stuff like that. So that's always good and fun. And then some other distance kids like Elliot will be running, and Jessa, and then javelin will be that night. And then Friday is everything else. So that's at WSU, and that's an important meet for us because that's where state is held. So it gets some experience on that track, all right, and those field events and things like that. And the other kids will be going to Pratt. That's a meet that we've never been to before, so we'll see how that goes. And then Goddard is always a very competitive one. We're like one of the smallest schools that will attend that meet. And Clearwater is always a tough one for us too, because of just some of our league schools will be there, and a kind of good idea to see what they can do and things like that.
You talked about the underclassmen earlier. Have any of them caught your eye?
There's a lot of variables to that, but yes, on the kind of the freshman boys, we're trying to get them up to speed a little bit. I mean, experience is always going to count, especially in something like this when you have the older kids that are doing well like they are. I just want to try to get that to carry over. So when our older kids are gone, that will carry over, and they know what's expected of our program. The girls, pretty excited about the young girls right now. And we've got some that could really help us at the varsity level right now. So, and the pre-state will try to tell us a little bit, and then some of the girls at Pratt, I kind of want to see where they can handle with some of those varsity kids, because they're both varsity meets. So But yeah, that's the goal. That's to see, I mean, who can carry over and who can get some experience right away and who can, help us when it really counts when we get to the league, regional, and state meet.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us today, Coach.
You're welcome.
That's all the time we have for today. I'm Hayden Swope, and I'll see you next week on the Rocket Coaches Corner.